Hey, what's up, guys? This is Isaac Kills, otherwise known as Nick, and today we're going to be talking about The Ring of Power. Just recently came out yesterday. I had a chance to watch it last night. Didn't have a chance to do the video, however. And yeah, we'll be talking about it. This will be a semi-spoiler review. We'll talk about some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, fair warning. It's not going to be a play-by-play, however. Um, just didn't have the time to kind of write notes on it, so I'll talk about some things I like, some things I didn't like. Um, talk about some of the characters that I liked and maybe some things that I didn't like, and we'll kind of take it from there. But yeah, I mean, first start of the episode one, we get introduced to a character called Galadriel. And just a fair warning, disclaimer: I haven't read any of the books. I've seen the original trilogy 4 or 5 times. Love the original trilogy. Love it. Um, just the way they built the story and how the actors pulled off the characters and how each movie felt like a continuation of the last. Like it didn't drop a beat and didn't feel like you were watching something completely different from the last. I mean, it almost seemed like it got better and better. But if you ask yourself which one is your favorite, you're probably pretty close on all three of them. It's the type of movie that it gives you goosebumps, kind of like Jurassic Park, or well, for me, anyways, Jurassic Park or Jaws or Aliens. It's up there, that's going to be standing as a classic. The original Lord of the Rings. This show, the first two episodes, and mind you, it's only the first two episodes. My first impressions, it's a little slow. I found it hard to keep my attention. To be honest, not very many things happen. Um, there's one scene where Galadriel is fighting a ice troll, and she's with like 7 or 8 elves, and I think she's the only female. And they were having trouble. The ice elf. They were having trouble killing it. He was basically killing, or not killing, but injuring the other elves. And Galadriel comes in and basically takes him out in like 3 or 4 moves. And it was just very sloppy, editing in that scene. Very slow movement. Uh, but I don't know. The CGI on the troll I thought was good. It was very good. I mean, a lot of the CGI in this show is excellent. By the way, you can tell they spent a lot of money on the show, and it shows. But the story, it was just really hard to keep my attention. You um, Galadriel, I don't know her as a character in any lore, but in this show so far, she's been very like brooding, um, unlikable. But she is, strong character, and she's brave, she's smart. But I find it hard to, have an attachment with her as of yet from what I've been shown. Um, I just think they need to add in something else that makes her either relatable or more likable later on in the episodes. I thought the person who played the main Halffoot, uh, played by a kid, I don't know who the name is, but she finds a wizard, I guess. And when the wizard enters into the show, by the way, it's almost like Superman. Like I was waiting for like Jonathan Kent, Martha Kent to come out of the red truck and take this wizard away. But he ultimately just lands on Earth in a crater, and the two Halffoot finds him, and he has a lot of power. He doesn't even have a staff. He doesn't have any memory. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't even know how to speak. But I am kind of interested to see what's going to happen with that character. To be honest, a little bit. Is he Sauron? Is he Gandalf? Um, is he somebody different? So I'm kind of interested in seeing what's going to happen there. Um, the actor who played him, Joseph Maui, I think. For some reason I can't find the person who plays the Half-Foot. Is it Markella Canvina? But anyways, but it says I can recognize his face. I just can't recognize who plays the Half-Foot, like out of all these pictures. But anyways, the person that plays the wizard seems believable. You know, he's playing the amnesia really well. He's kind of menacing, a little crazy, so he's pulling that off really well. The person who plays the Half-Foot is playing like innocent, very curious, kind of like more curious than scared, brave, good-hearted. So I'm rooting for her just based on what I see from her characterization so far. She has a friend, kind of like a sidekick. I kind of like her too. She's kind of cool. Kind of follows her around, a little bit funny. Um, the person who plays Edmund, Robert Aramayo, um, you know, doing good. He's playing off the elf characterization's really good. I liked his dynamic with the elf prince or king. Thought it was kind of stupid though, like how he got really upset considering how long they live about them not really talking like 30 or 40 years. Supposedly he missed out on the marriage and, a couple kids, and he's upset about that. I don't know if that scene really played off well. I mean, it did show and, presented on screen that they had a close relationship, and obviously if they didn't have a close relationship, he wouldn't have felt that way. So if they were trying to get that across, they did it, but there's other ways to get it across, and it kind of made the dwarf prince kind of seem petty, almost childish. The makeup on the dwarves, though, whoa. Um, I mean, obviously, people don't usually have big noses like that. I mean, you could tell though, it's totally prosthetic. It looks really bad, in my opinion. Doesn't look as great as Gimli or any other dwarves that were in the original trilogy. Not even with uh, the prequels, the Hobbits. The makeup wasn't that bad. And here, I don't know if it's just because um, it's older dwarves, maybe older than the Hobbits. Like I said, I don't know the lore, because I don't know, like the noses are like red and kind of like, I don't know. There's more detail than there was that was kind of off-putting and off, in my opinion. So the makeup's a little off for me with the dwarves. Accents are off for me. Um, it seems like sometimes it comes and goes with certain characters. I'm not gonna call any names out, but a lot of it were the dwarves and the half-foots and a little bit of well, no, I was like I said, I'm not gonna call anybody out, but accents did come and go in certain scenes for a lot of characters. So, I mean, if you can't pull off the accent, maybe just talk regularly or whatever accent they're trying to pull off. But it's not really presenting well on screen. Um, but acting overall is okay. I mean, it's nothing like really groundbreaking that I've seen so far. The character that plays Theo's mother, that's on the review poster, her character and the Half-Foot character is the only ones I really kind of feel compelled to see where their story's going to lead. Like her mom, don't know the name of the character. I think maybe it's Eleanor, maybe. But the mom and her son Theo are leaving somewhere that they abandoned their house towards episode 2. And the son finds this like torch almost, and his blood kind of leaks into it, and the torch kind of turns into fire, and then he kind of hides it and puts it away when his mom calls him, and then they're off. So I'm kind of curious to see where that's leading. Is he one of the bad guys, like at a young age? Is this like a Darth Vader situation going on? Are we seeing little Anakin Skywalker about to go to his pod race. Um, but I don't know. A lot of things about the story reminisce of other stories. You know what I mean? Like Star Wars or Superman. And I don't know if they're just taking all the storyline, good things about other storylines, and just kind of putting them in here. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much about the lore. Special effects, like I said, it's like really good. The one thing I could say, the things that are bad that I can say about it, um, is it's very slow. I found it hard for it to keep my attention. Um, if I try to give you a play by play right now, I probably wouldn't be able to. I mean, I could main points, but it was very hard to concentrate. Like I had to pause it a lot of times just to see how much time I had left, and it was almost a chore, you know. Um, some things in it though kept my interest, like wanting to find out who the wizard is, and wanting to find out what happened with the son character Theo and his mom, where they're going. The half foot, I want to see what happens with her. But as far as the elves, like there's really maybe, I mean, not really. I mean, there's nothing really compelling so far with me, anyways, about the elves. The dwarves seem petty and childish almost. But at the same time, I mean, don't get me wrong, childish is good. Like when Grimly and what was his name, Nick Orlando Bloom's character, I forgot his name right now. It's been a while, but even though they had kind of like childish games and kind of like a childish brother relationship, like it never felt silly. Like it felt like even when they were doing it in battle, it felt natural and it was entertaining. Um, Here, when Edmund was talking to the dwarf prince, it seems like they were trying to pull that off, but use it with the whole marriage thing and him not seeing it and kind of being upset about that. Like they were trying to pull that, you know, Grimly and Orlando Bloom's character relationship into these two characters, but in a different, completely ridiculous type of situation that didn't really work. Considering how long they live. I mean, 40 years or whatever is like 3 years, to these characters. They live such a long time. So that didn't really work too well with me. Um, the battle with the frozen troll and when Galadriel was hanging on the cliff, the one in the preview looked like like a cutscene from an old video game. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, this is only episode 1 and 2. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll get better. Um, but they got to do something a lot more exciting than what they're doing. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about the lore, so if there's like good battles or understand this is like, you know, basically the start of Sauron, right? Is kind of what I'm understanding. But I'm coming into the show completely new, not knowing what's going on. But my first impressions, like I said, it's just very slow paced. And for 2 episodes in 2 hours, an hour each episode, it just didn't seem like much happened. And for me not to be like for me to like two characters out of all the characters they introduced tells me they're doing something wrong. Like I'm supposed to like a little bit more than two out of like the 15, 20 I've met uh, in this last 2 episodes. But I don't know. We'll see, guys. That's my initial thoughts on the first 2 episodes. If you guys did like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. I was trying to go a little bit faster pace because I've got some criticism that I'm going to try to critique. Try to go a little faster. There is going to be videos where I'm going to dissect the crap out of each episode like I've done before. And I've been playing with script writing. And, while I write the script, I read the script while doing the video. So I've been, playing with that. But, all my reviews are kind of like podcast style where I'm not editing them. So, and that's what I'm going to keep doing for now, just based on my work schedule and everything else. but I'm also teaching myself how to edit. So later on, hopefully, you know, 5, 6 months down the road, we can get to a point where most of the videos will be edited. I like this podcast style because it's a lot, obviously a lot quicker, and I think it gives a little bit more authenticity with my reviews. I gotta talk off the cusp, right? But that's not gonna say that I'm not gonna do edited reviews later on. But for now, I think this works. But anyways, guys, if you guys did like the video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.